All right, what's up, everybody? Matt here from myrawintuition.com, and welcome back to another episode of the Raw Intuition Health Show. As always, guys, if you can just let me know that the sound is good. It looks good from my end, but I just want to make sure that you guys can hear everything. Great to see everybody again. It has been a while since we've done a show, and I know we tried to do one yesterday, didn't work out, but I'm very excited to have this show today to start us back off on a nice routine of getting shows in. We've got a great guest. It is Chelsea McGee from, let's see, Chelsea has Atlas Health Co. is her company, and she is a registered nurse, board certified integrative nurse coach, Reiki master, sound healer, and veteran of the U.S. Coast Guard. After serving active duty in the military and beginning her nursing career in emergency medicine and mental health, she found herself stuck, burned out, and searching for a better way. Stepping away from the conventional system, she turned to functional medicine, sound and energy healing, and ancient wisdom to reclaim her health. Now, through Atlas Health, she helps others do the same, guiding them to heal at the root, restore balance, and step into their most vibrant, authentic selves. So this week, we're going to be discussing Chelsea's healing journey, sound healing, and some other interesting holistic practices that Chelsea has found to be useful. And so let's bring Chelsea into the show. What's up, Chelsea?
Hi, thank you for having me, Matt. I've been
Yeah,
really looking forward to this.
me as well. I ever since I saw you at the retreat. So everybody, we met at the retreat, the vegan wellness retreat in Michigan here just last August, and yeah, it was amazing. I unfortunately didn't make it to any of your sound healing sessions, which I felt bad about. I really wanted to get to one.
Aw,
Yeah, but
next year.
I did walk by and I saw what you had going on, and it was really intriguing. So I would love to hear more about that and how you got into it and all that. So, how was your experience at the retreat?
I loved it. I loved it. The opportunity was so last minute. I received a message on Instagram from a friend, and it's kind of a long story, but it was a week before the retreat,
Oh
and
wow,
needed a sound healer. And I'm like, well, I don't have many clients next week. I can move some things around, and yeah, it was just a beautiful week of meeting new people, trying incredible fruits and veggies, and
yeah,
yeah, just a wonderful magical location too. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It was amazing
nice to meet everyone.
for sure. Awesome. All right. So, guys, as you know, we start off, we're going to hear Chelsea's story, and then we'll get into a little bit of a topic discussion, and then we can take some Q&A at the end. So hold your questions to the end. I mean, you can put them in the chat box, and I'll try to make sure I keep track, but definitely have your questions ready. And yeah, so Chelsea, would you like to share just kind of how you got into, this space of holistic health and, kind of how that unfolded?
Sure, sure. Yeah, so I graduated so nursing was a change of career path for me. So I had graduated from Michigan State with a background in kinesiology and health promotion. So I was always very interested in health and wellness. And actually, after college, I enlisted in the Coast Guard and served 4 years in Fort Lauderdale,
Hmm.
Florida, and San Francisco. And after the Coast Guard, I decided that I was meant to be a nurse, that there were so many realms of nursing. I was between PA school and nursing school, and I just felt like nursing was the best fit for me. So I went to an accelerated program, and my first year as a nurse was during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, yeah, a big wake up call. It was, yeah, a big shock. But yeah, I think I was like a month off orientation when COVID hit. So I had already witnessed a lot in the healthcare system that I I knew that I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I had always been interested in holistic health, but never had a background. I mean, it isn't popular to
Right.
go the alternative route. And I started my own healing journey, and I think that's really the catalyst for where I am now. I had realized in 2019, and I hit a rock bottom in my life, physically, mentally, emotionally, and I started to do a lot of work on myself, and I was very open-minded to different modalities like sound healing and Reiki, and I just kind of threw myself into those things because I knew that I couldn't keep living in the way that I was. For a very long time, I used alcohol and food to cope with triggers and traumas in my life. And I think I was very much in denial and I was avoiding the deeper work
Hmm.
because I didn't know how. I didn't know there was a different route other than talk therapy,
Sure.
um, which I started to do, but then added a lot of other modalities. And when I started feeling better and I think more conscious of how nutrition, thought patterns, our environment, the way that we respond to stress, our nervous system, all those things, um, that I was beginning to balance out, I started going down the holistic route for my career. And that's when I started the integrative nurse coaching. A lot of people think that I coach nurses. I can
Mm.
coach nurses, but what it is it's like holistic health coaching for nurses to be able to help anyone.
Cool.
And then from there, that led me to all the other things that you mentioned in my bio. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing. Well, a lot of similarities I can relate with, using alcohol and food as a coping mechanism to, you know, even, and I don't know if this was your experience as well, but yeah, like you don't even really know that you're doing it. And it's just a way of life essentially to use these crutches to cope with, I think, living out of alignment with
Exactly.
our soul, our soul's journey or our soul's mission or however you want to look at it. But yeah, and definitely going against the grain can be tough, especially in the medical field, I'm sure.
Yes.
So yeah, it takes a lot of bravery and courage. So I'm so glad that you took that path and are out there helping people really find the true way of coming back to the right path for their life.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that alignment piece. And I love that the name of your business is Raw Intuition.
yeah, yeah,
That's, our intuition when we are engaged in unhealthy habits, whatever capacity, we're so disconnected
yeah.
from our intuition, and that is our internal compass. And it's the
Absolutely.
ego usually feeding our fears and a lot of times we're just not even aware of how our thoughts are manifesting in our physical reality and how powerful those thoughts are.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things. So I thought maybe during the show we could talk about like things that we have personally found to be beneficial, or think like things that stick out to us that we did that really made a difference in getting us to where we are today. Holistic practices or, the mental aspect of it. Is there, do you have anything like that comes to mind that was like a big shifting moment for you once you started doing it? You realized that it was helping you tremendously?
Mhm. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is sound healing,
Mm,
because that was one of the first modalities. So in that year of, yeah, 2019, 2020, I went to a yoga studio and I tried sound healing for the first time, and I had a major emotional
mm,
release. For many years, I did not cry. I would not allow myself to cry. I was so disconnected from my emotions, and being in the military, it's you just deal with it like it's fast paced, your nervous system is dysregulated. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I didn't cry for years. And I went into this beautiful yoga studio and I didn't know what to expect. And I I had a huge release and shift in consciousness. I truly believe something changed that day and I got more in touch with my soul and myself and I released some things that I was carrying. I
Mm.
mean, I've been working on this. It's throughout life. I mean, we're never going to stop healing. We're never going to stop working on ourselves. It's the evolution of the soul.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. So I after that, the next Christmas my mom bought me a one sound healing bowl because I was so interested in using that with meditation. And from there, the next year, I was led to a class, a training program teaching me how to become a facilitator of sound immersions and sound baths. So I've been doing that for the past few years. And what I've witnessed from the participants in the sessions, what they tell me after, anywhere from anything from, visions or seeing colors or having almost sort of a message come to them,
Mm.
maybe from their guides or, their higher self from God,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. It's special and unique to everyone. But they leave feeling more grounded, more relaxed, and it's a nervous system reset.
Mm.
I think it hits all the dimensions of who we are physically and our physiology, our nervous system resets with sound healing and meditation. And even the frequencies in our body, like everything starts to harmonize and energetically through the chakras as well, kind of just unblocking the energy centers and alleviating stress and anxiety and coming back to the heart. So, oh,
Yeah.
your kitty cat.
Yeah. He's actually been trying to get out, so I might have to step away for just a second to let him out the door. I'm actually going to do that really quick.
Okay, okay.
All right, sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah. So, yeah, I completely and first of all, I'm thankful to you because of you and just even though I didn't even make it to one of your sound baths, I still felt the energy just walking by. I walked by as you were doing one, and because of that, I decided to get my own set. Yeah,
Yes, that's awesome.
yeah. So now
I love it.
I got a set of it was like a set of 7, and then I actually just went. I got it off Amazon. I don't know if it's the greatest set, but then I went to the Ulm store and they had a sale going on, so I decided to splurge and I got a couple bowls from them. So I'm waiting for those. But yeah, so
Yes,
I'm really pumped to get into the sound bowls, the singing bowls, and all that sort of stuff.
you should be. It's magic.
Yeah,
It's ancient healing. I
yeah,
mean, sound healing has been around for thousands of years.
right.
And now we're returning. We're in this, I think, phase of remembrance in the world and remembering all of these modalities that have been lost over time.
Yeah, sound is fascinating because I mean, I think everybody can just relate to how like a song can make them feel, just from the radio, even though it's probably not the greatest frequency coming out of the radio, but even just tapping into, music just from a basic level, I think shows the power of how it affects your emotional state, your nervous system, just your outlook on life almost. So, yeah, especially when you get into some of the healing or the sound baths and sound healing, you know, types of things, it really starts to, as you said, you had that emotional release, and it just changed things for you. So that's what I'm excited to get into as well. and just see the power of the singing bowls and just learn more about it as much as I can.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that you bought a set and you're getting more now.
Yeah.
It is so powerful. It's vibrational energy healing,
Hmm.
and we are vibrational energetic beings, and we forget that.
Absolutely.
Our moving fields of energy. Yes, we have a physical body, but the
Yeah.
core of who we are is spiritual and energy and consciousness.
Hmm. For sure. Are you going to be at the retreat again in June or?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Possibly.
Okay. Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, anybody out there, if you want to come to the retreat and hopefully go to one of Chelsea's sound baths, you can use code Matt $100 and get $100 off your ticket. Do you have a code as well?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Mm.
Well, go ahead and use my code, guys, if you want to join us. It's going to be a great time again. But yeah, so definitely resonate with the sound healing aspect of really changing our lives. One thing that came to my mind when I was kind of reflecting on this topic was self reflection.
Mm.
That was one of the things that definitely changed my trajectory in life. Just having the ability to, become aware of, taking the time to become aware of, you know, just how you live your life is such a powerful way to change so many aspects of your life. My internal dialogue, especially, was one of the things that once I became more aware of how I was speaking to myself, uh, that really was a turning point in my life because I realized, you know, I like myself. So I was like, why am I talking so poorly about myself? Why am I having these self conscious, just like self limiting beliefs about myself that were holding me back from so many opportunities and just experiences in life? So really dialing in my focus on self reflection
Mhm.
and just looking at how I spoke to myself, looking at how I was spending my time, the things that I really felt were important. Am I spending time on these things, or am I just distracting myself with you know bars and drinking and parties and things that really were not serving my greatest experience in life. Maybe temporarily it was fun, but in the overall picture of it, it was really burning me out and just preventing me from really being able to experience, the fullness of what life can provide. And so it was just such an empty state to live in, is and so self-reflection and just becoming aware of that internal dialogue and how I was living my life is something that definitely was a turning point in my life when I started to focus on that. So, not sure if you've had any of that experience.
Yes, 1000%. And I just want to say, I love that you said self-reflection
Mm,
to start, because we think of like present moment awareness, consciousness, meditation, mindfulness, like all these key words
yeah.
in holistic health and spirituality and well-being. But I resonate so deeply with that self-reflection, because that can look like going on a walk in the woods. That can
Yeah.
be a walking meditation, it could be journaling, or it could just be sitting in your basement on the couch and just breathing and reflecting on things, instead of listing out all these tasks and all these habits that we want to commit to that are very healthy. Sometimes that can feel overwhelming
Hmm.
and almost like a checklist. And that's not how life should be. I do believe in, daily rituals and routines, but I think the self-reflection, we can be doing that throughout the day,
Yeah.
especially if we do get triggered by someone or something in our external environment. Like, right away, when we begin to reflect, like, what is still in me that made me react
Hmm.
rather than respond with more maturity and more grace and more love.
Yeah.
And it's, we're not perfect, but we're doing the best we can when we do make time for reflection rather than just being on autopilot mode all the time. And that is how I think I lived a lot of my life, late teens, 20s, constantly on the go, constantly searching for the next thing. What am I going to do next? What am I going to accomplish next? And in the last few years, it's totally been a shift in my mindset of unlearning a lot of the
Hmm.
things that were like programmed, truly programmed into my subconscious from schooling, from society, life experiences, traumas, and then it's the unwiring and the like detangling, and then the rewiring, like you said, of those positive thoughts and core beliefs, and just what we're putting out, what we're signaling out to the world.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I like how you mentioned how you respond to certain things, how you respond to a stressful event or how you respond to, really anything. I think looking at how we respond to different things in our life can really, if you're being self-reflective, it can really show you a lot about your current state of
Mm.
maybe emotional balance or just um, you know, integrity or, just certain things that you could maybe gauge your state, by looking at how you're responding, I guess, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe I was just going to add one more thing to that, maybe like where you're not setting boundaries in your life, because that's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
we're on this journey, we're taking care of ourselves, but then boundaries, I
Yep.
think, in life are kind of it's another layer to this puzzle,
Yeah, that's
or piece to the puzzle.
absolutely. Boundaries are definitely I wish I would have thought of that as much because I thought of two things for sure I wanted to share on this, but the third one, boundaries, that would have been probably the best one. I agree. Boundaries, setting boundaries
Whew.
and respecting your boundaries
Yes.
is something so many people struggle with.
Mhm.
People want to be people pleasers
Yep.
and they just say yes to all these things that they probably don't want to,
Mhm.
and also just accepting things in your life that um, is not what you truly want. Like for me, I guess one of the other things that I was going to bring up was just changing my environment was something that I found to be extremely helpful in my journey to getting to where I am today. And, changing from the bars to like nature, going out into the woods or to a park, changing the people that I was surrounding myself with, partiers, which I don't have anything against people that party, but if that's the only thing, that you're focused on is drinking and, things like that. For me, I just felt over time that it just, as much fun as it provided, it just, it was not something that I felt like was benefiting me anymore. And so I had to change that. I started getting myself around people that were more health focused and business focused and just goal oriented people. So that was a big thing. And then just the fact that the energy of people that I surrounded myself with as well was, going from more like energy drainers to people that really br- lifted me up and encouraged me and inspired me. So those were things that, were part of changing my environment that changed kind of how I was moving through life. But yeah, the boundaries, it's because I didn't have any boundaries for myself. I wasn't respecting the boundaries. Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah. So once you hone in on what your boundaries are and you respect that, you can start to, move in the direction that's much better for you.
Yeah. Everything that you just said, I'm like spot on. Spot on with my journey. And in the integrative nurse coach program that I went through, and what I still use when I work with clients, for health coaching, there's this form. It's called the IWA tool, the Integrative Health and Wellness Assessment Tool. And it asks questions on all dimensions of health. So it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social,
Mm,
and environmental. So it's all facets that make up who we are as human beings. And yes, the social piece is huge. And that was definitely, you nailed it with going from the bars to
mm,
nature. I mean, I am so different than I'm just a completely different person. Not completely. I think the foundation of who I was, and wanting to help
yeah.
people and wanting to spread the light, and that spontaneity, and just purpose driven, that's always been me. But then I had kind of just all this like cloudiness and mud,
Yep.
if that's the visual, clouding my judgment, clouding my heart, and the modalities that I have learned and opened up to over the last several years have helped to kind of clean that vessel, clean your my electromagnetic field.
Hmm.
And that's what the great part about sound healing is. Before I start the sound healing, I teach the group about the science of sound and the background, and what is happening within their nervous system and body.
Mm,
And yeah, it's, once we, I think, can merge the science with spirit, that's the sweet spot.
yeah, for
That's how
sure.
people are really going to activate that deep inner healing.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, they both they can work together so beautifully, but I think people want to just keep them separate, and not they want to just be into the spiritual aspect, or just the science aspect. But if you can merge them, I think we could see a lot more progress.
Huge transformation.
Yeah,
Hmm.
very nice. All right. Did you have any other major aspects to your that you found helpful?
Yeah, Matt. So I was going to mention body work.
Mm,
So I used to love getting massages to help with stress, and I had hip pain post Coast Guard because of some injuries, and back pain. And I started to see a massage therapist who was trained in several different modalities, including Reiki.
mm.
So I'd go in for a session. And have you ever heard of the book The Body Keeps the Score? I haven't read the whole thing. I've read parts of it.
I've heard of it. Yep, I haven't read it though.
Yes. So it talks about how our fascia holds on to, like, our cells hold on to memories. So when
Mm,
we travel through life and we experience hardship, we experience suffering and pain and trauma, or even, physical injury, our fascia holds on to that. And the last, I've been going to see him for about 3 years. I go to this body worker in Michigan, and he's incredible. Just like with the sound healing, the emotional release,
mm.
my body has shaken, like truly released. I've had major tears, outpours,
Wow.
after, when I was working through traumas, and trying to release in different ways and heal my mind, body, and soul. Body work was one of the best things that helped me. And my body's never felt this good. I've healed my hip pain, just other, like, knee pain, still kind of dealing with that. But it might not just be an injury or sitting at the computer for too long, or whatever the case may be. It could actually be your body is hurting because it's keeping the score. It's remembering. And the way that I look at things, it's, we're multidimensional human beings, but we're multi-layered.
Mm,
And sometimes if we're not dealing with things mentally and emotionally, it gets pushed to the physical layer of the body.
mm.
And that can be released through body work. And when a massage therapist is trained in energy work, the two combined, it just makes for a more powerful healing session.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible things that I've experienced within that realm of healing.
Right. Wow.
I
That's
wish he was here.
yeah.
Become one of my good friends.
Sure. Absolutely.
But maybe you'll have him on. But yeah,
I would love
he's
to.
very talented.
Okay. Great. Can you just share a little bit, for people that aren't aware of what Reiki is? Can you share an overview so people know?
Yeah, so Reiki, I learned Reiki back in, I think level one was 2021, and Reiki is an ancient energy healing modality. So the Reiki practitioner is a channel. So it's not when I have clients and let's say they have a really good experience and at the end they feel great, they're thanking me so much. But I'm like, I'm the channel. I'm like the platform delivering it. It's not me, it's source energy. And it works through and some hospital systems actually have, I think it's called healing touch maybe, but some nurses are trained in healing touch.
Mm,
This is more of a um it originated in Japan, and you learn each level of Reiki. So I'm a Reiki master, so I've gone through all levels I can teach. Right now, I'm just teaching level one and two. I feel like I need many more years of experience to feel confident teaching three and Reiki master level. But in each level, you get attuned by the Reiki master using different symbols.
mm,
And you go through meditations to meet your spirit guides, animal guides, maybe, and you get activated, and everyone has in their hands these points that are healing, and even just healing touch. I mean, if someone, you were to have a loved one that was sick, not feeling well, and you just, even without Reiki, you just placed your hands around their body, they would feel better. They would feel that healing touch. I think Reiki takes it to another level with the symbolism and the placements of the hands. And then once you get to more levels, you can do other tactics or like removals of energy cords and clearing of the electromagnetic field.
mm,
So on my website, because some people may be scared to hear the term Reiki and or don't really know what it is. And I use the terms human biofield healing because I use sound and Reiki.
mm.
And that is the biofield around us, and they've studied this too.
Wow.
So it's a beautiful ancient healing practice, and it works. If anyone has heard of chakras, it works on the seven main chakras. We have a lot more chakras than that, but it works on the seven main ones, and each chakra has different meanings and relates to your life in different ways, and they develop through like 0 to 7 years typically.
Yeah.
And throughout life, we can have blocked chakras or imbalanced chakras because of trauma.
Mm,
And
wow.
Reiki is a way to balance and clear and nourish the mind, body, and soul.
Amazing. Wow. I didn't realize. So the chakras develop within the first 7 years of life.
I
Okay.
believe it's seven because there's seven main chakras.
Hmm.
I have some chakra books and Reiki books, and there's, some differing
Hmm.
views on that. Um, but yeah, as we develop in our early childhood,
Yeah.
they're developing. So kind of along with the developmental stages too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing because that's what they say. Like Dr. Bruce Lipton says that your subconscious, mind or your subconscious belief system is basically solidified in that first 7 years of life. So
Mhm.
that's an interesting correlation there.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I think before the age of 7, kids are so much closer to source. They're
Mm,
closer to spirit, but
yeah.
they're also getting programmed by society.
Right.
So, yeah, a lot of those subconscious patterns and beliefs and fears, then that's what we have to untangle later in life.
Yeah.
So it's just the ego too. It's the ego and the subconscious, I think, are two barriers
Mm.
to liberation.
Yeah. To me, they seem like the keys to really unlocking our potential and,
Yes.
really having a fulfilling life and just feeling safe and, you know, I don't know even the right word how to describe it, just feeling truth in yourself and in your body, I would say. You know, I think we're so conditioned to believe we're something that we're not and to suppress, you know, our emotions and just who we are. So yeah, getting into the ego and that all that stuff is the subconscious mind is just so powerful. So it's something that I also will, I'm sure, be working on the rest of my life. You know, I'm sure it's a never ending thing. So
Mhm. And with the subconscious, hypnotherapy is a great tool.
yeah.
I have a good friend who is a hypnotherapist. We've actually done a sound healing and hypnotherapy session together, which has been pretty cool.
Wow.
So, repatterning the subconscious.
Yeah. Well, I would
A lot
love
of people think that's woo woo and hypnotherapy, it's the
right.
devil. No,
Yeah.
it's like, come on, guys.
I know. I know. It's
Open your
funny.
mind. It's
Yeah,
time. It's
exactly.
time.
People, yeah, we're conditioned to resist the things that could
Yes.
really set us free, I think. So,
Yes. Yes.
I would love to maybe get a contact information for your friend, your hypnotherapist friend as well.
Oh,
That'd
yes.
be a
I have
great
a
show.
whole team of holistic professionals who are
Yeah.
good friends of mine in
Awesome.
Michigan. Happy to provide that.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, and I took a note to that's gonna be my next book that I buy is The Body Keeps the Score. I definitely want to dive into that because it I just I just know intuitively that is so true that we hold the emotions that we suppress get stored in the physical body. I'm still personally working on. I know that I've got stored emotions, stuck in my body that I need to release. So that's something that I definitely want to become more educated about and just practice it more. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yes, absolutely. And there's other forms of energy healing as well. I just wanted to mention that. So it's not just Reiki. There's pranic healing, shamanism. I'm in a year-long course right now for Peruvian shamanism.
Awesome.
And another practitioner that I've been seeing the last year, because I was having shoulder injuries, which was totally emotional. It was
Mm,
like I was so blocked in my throat chakra and my heart chakra. And it's called spinal energetics and spinal. There's two similar ones, spinal network analysis, and it works with the energy in your spine,
mm.
like the tension we hold in our spine. And I'll send you on Instagram, I'll send you this video of me. I was not acting, I was not exaggerating. But I had posted a reel to support my friend, and he's a chiropractor who does a spinal network analysis. And there's a video of my spine like uncoiling, totally automatic. I was not in control of it.
Wow.
And that is similar to how I felt in several of the body work
Mm.
massage therapy sessions, where my body, it's almost like, when an animal gets injured or falls, they get up and they shake it off.
Yep.
Well, as humans, we don't shake it off, we suppress.
Right. Yeah.
Unless we're moving our bodies, unless we're engaging in modalities like yoga and body work and, energy healing. So it's a way for you to release that from your body.
Mm. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. That's such great points. Um, I was just seeing. There's a comment about and before I get into that comment, I have noticed that. So I have heard that if you shake it off, after you're stressed, that helps a lot. I have noticed that is very helpful actually. So
It's like bring it out,
yeah,
jump up and down, ring it out.
yep,
Yeah, stretch the body.
yeah.
Some breath work. Breath work is another great tool.
Ooh,
There's so many.
yes. Breath work, yeah, breath work I have personally found very helpful. So that's definitely one that I'm a big fan of. Um, Sherry Craves Fruit said, so she has a criticism of the book, The Body Keeps the Score. She said The only downside of that book is that they give examples of terrible things people went through before they get healed, so it wasn't a good falling asleep to audiobook. Oh, okay.
Mm,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I suppose maybe not the best bedtime story, but
Kind of like watching like SVU or one of those.
right.
I do not recommend that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, maybe that's something to read earlier in the day.
Mhm.
So, great. Um Okay, well, I got one more thing. Let's see, what time is it here? 10:44. All right, got a little time left. Um, the only other thing I was going to mention was just uh, separating myself from my thoughts and reminding myself that my thoughts were not me. You know, our thoughts are transient things that can come from all sorts of places, and when we start to believe that we are our thoughts, that's when we start to, I think, imprison ourselves. So I think recognizing, this is what helped me anyways, is just recognizing that thoughts can be changed. You know, how you think is a habit, and any habit can be changed. And if you get into the habit of self-critical, self-limiting, self-degrading thought patterns, you start to believe, if you're not aware of it, you start to believe these thoughts are just reality and that's who you are. So if you think that you're, bad at something, and you keep reaffirming that to yourself, you connect yourself with that thought, then you're likely going to be bad at it because that's just, you've convinced yourself that that's the truth. But if you become aware and you step back and you realize that you can separate yourself from the habitual thoughts that you think, then you have an opportunity, which is what I discovered, to start kind of analyzing which thoughts you want to continue thinking and which thoughts that maybe you want to change. And so, that can be applied to any aspect of our life, whether it be the food you eat or the physical exercise that you do, or, the beliefs you have about yourself or the potential that you have in your life. That's something I think is powerful to just work on, again, becoming aware of, just how you're connecting yourself to your thoughts, and if you're really thinking things that are true, or if maybe they're just things that have come into your mind through external sources that have kind of made you think differently than what is actually true. So that would be one of the other things that I thought of.
Yes. Again, you're nailing it. Sure. Yes, during the beginning of my sound journeys with groups, I lead them through meditation and I attempt to try to get them to see their thoughts from a state of observation,
Mm,
from a higher state of consciousness, just like you said, like not identifying with your thoughts. We think that we are our thoughts, but we're actually consciousness.
mhm,
We're a conscious being. We are a soul that has this like monkey mind that is constantly scanning for threats. And those threats might be a Facebook post that you don't really like that threatens your core beliefs.
mhm,
So it's kind of like when I look at things along the continuum, it's like core beliefs, the way that we were raised, the information that we accumulate. And, I'm just going to pause right there because I don't want to forget this. But when you mentioned limiting beliefs and the subconscious and how we're talking to ourselves, our subconscious could be carrying something from childhood, like on the playground. Maybe we were bullied or something happened in sixth grade or high school. And that changed the way that you feel and you think about yourself. So until you can find something, maybe it is meditation, sound healing, whatever the case may be, self reflection, going on a walk in the woods to separate yourself from the mind, it's so easy to beat ourselves up and think we're not whole and think we're not good enough and all these things that are just on repetition in our minds. So when we separate ourselves and remember we are a beautiful soul. I'm not trying to get all like light and love and peace,
Yeah,
but
love it.
that's the truth, and connect with our hearts and observe those thoughts and then get empowered, reclaim our power and not victimize ourselves by the traumas we've been through and the way that the world is. No, but taking our power back and choosing to change our thoughts, to change our self-talk. Then what happens after that? An emotion. So, core belief, thought, emotion, action.
Mm,
And intentions are along there with the thoughts. It's, positive intentions versus, something fearful.
yeah.
Uh, so, and it's all vibrational as well. So when you think about how you're signaling, your thoughts are signals to God or the universe, to your reality. And I believe, I think it's David Hawkins, maybe there's a scale of consciousness.
Mm,
And I believe on there, I'll have to look this up. I'll send it to you. But it is also frequency based with emotions. So emotions like anger, resentment, grief, all these things that we hold on to are lower vibrational on this scale. And emotions like joy, excitement, gratitude, that's another thing.
yes.
A modality is gratitude, just focusing on all the things that you're grateful for: food, a roof over your head,
Hmm.
clean drinking water. I mean, focusing on the little things, they expand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so important. Gratitude for the things that we have in our lives, because it's so easy to, feel like the world is falling apart,
Yeah.
like everything is going wrong, so we get a flat tire or something, we're all angry. But yeah, if you really think about it, I think we can all, if you're watching this show, you're watching on your phone or your computer or whatever, you're in a house, you got clean water like you said. There's so many things that we really should be grateful for, and I think we lose sight of that by, I think it's natural to um, have more attention put on something we find as threatening or negative. I think that's just probably how our brains are wired. If we were out in,
Survival.
yeah, if we were out in
They're,
nature, we
they're,
would need
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
it's survival.
yeah, but since we're not really, for the most part, under constant threat, I think that gives us the opportunity to really tap into that gratitude. And like you said, when you do that, it just like changes everything.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because what you focus on expands.
Right.
Focused on the negative, that becomes ingrained, and actually your body can become chemically addicted to your own stress
Mm.
hormones. For those of you who think I'm crazy by saying that, look it up. It's a real thing. Cortisol, I mean glucose, our physiology is responding to our thoughts and our words. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Absolutely.
wild.
Yeah. Yeah,
But it's
I think
true.
that's why people are so addicted to like fearful message. Like that's why they go and watch horror movies and they go and watch, the news, I guess. I haven't
Oh
watched
yeah,
it.
adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give
Yeah.
me more. They're
Yeah.
like looking for reasons then, but it's not
Exactly.
them. It's not who they truly are. It's the fear and it's the ego, and they're trying to protect themselves, and we
Yeah.
become addicted to that. And our we are wired for survival.
Right.
So now we need to move up. It's like thinking about the chakra system. The root chakra is at the base of the spine, and that's all about identity, survival. And it's kind of reminds me of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, going up the pyramid to self-actualization and that basic, like physical, taking care of your physical needs, safety, water, food,
Hmm.
similar to the root chakra. And then I think as society, I think we're trying to move up to the sacral chakra, um our joy, our creativity. So moving from survival upward.
Mm.
That's where we're heading.
Yeah. Up to
If we can anchor the light.
yes, agreed. Moving from survival or surviving to thriving. Is that?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Boom.
Yes, I love it. All right. Well, before we get into the Q&A, do you have any last things you want to share about any of that?
You are your own best healer. I want everyone who's listening, anyone who's watching this future. I don't know, are you like recording this to post or
Yeah,
is
this will
this
go on
okay,
YouTube.
cool?
Yep.
Yeah, so just I want everyone to know that you are your own best healer and you have the power to change your life.
Absolutely. Terrific. Couldn't agree more. Liv says adrenaline is addictive. Yes, it
Oh
definitely is.
yeah. What her name's Liv?
Liv, yeah.
Yes, Liv. I was an adrenaline junkie for years. Like, yeah, bungee jumping, ER nurse, Coast Guard. It was crazy. I loved it until it burned me out and led to a lot of physical, mental, emotional issues. So
Mm-hmm. Yep. That that will happen.
now
uh,
it's just small bits.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think we need a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She also said meditation has helped her so much with those self-limiting beliefs. Allison says thoughts are not facts.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Love it.
yes, absolutely. Okay, well, let's jump over to the Q&A for the last few minutes here. So we are now in front of the chalkboard. Still works. Anybody that doesn't know it, my system for all this is it's kind of messed up right now. So I'm glad that it's been working so far. But we're gonna hopefully get some upgrades to it again here soon. But yeah, so anybody that has questions, definitely throw them in the chat box here. I do see we have a couple questions already, or at least one from Sherry. Sherry says, "What does Chelsea recommend we buy as a starter instrument for healing?"
Ooh. That's a hard one because I feel like we're all so unique. Crystal quartz singing bowls is what resonated with me.
That's what I got.
Yeah, yeah, but there are Tibetan bowls,
Yep.
there are harps, there are drums. So I would self-reflect and meditate on what resonates most with you. Maybe try on YouTube, see how you like the sound of crystal quartz singing bowls, see how you like the sound of Tibetan bowls, maybe, and what is really calling to you. My first instrument was I don't remember what size it is. It's the smallest. It's the crown chakra crystal quartz bowl.
Mm,
My mom got it for me for a Christmas present. So that was my first, and I used it for meditation, and it was very uplifting.
nice.
Um,
Is there
so
a certain supplier that you recommend? Like, is Amazon okay, or do you have a favorite producer of these bowls?
So I've gotten one of the bowls is from Amazon. Wouldn't say either way it's bad to get something on Amazon.
Mm.
I found that Etsy, I really like the
Oh,
bowls and the suppliers on Etsy. And
okay.
I got three of my bowls in person actually at a store, at a
Wow,
holistic spiritual store.
awesome.
So I have seven. I've kind of collected them over time.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name of the companies, but I would check out Etsy and look at the reviews. I think there's more there. There
awesome.
are more options there.
Okay, very nice. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Here's a question from Mallory. What's up, Mallory? Thanks for being here. She says, "Does Chelsea have favorite music that is by a band or musician that she feels is helpful? Are there any more mainstream musicians, or are there any mainstream musicians that are helpful?"
Mm. I love that question.
Yeah,
I used to listen to like my teenage years and early 20s, like hip hop and rap.
yeah,
And
me too.
I think, well, I'm trying to make this short, but there was actually a study by a Japanese scientist named Dr. Masaru Emoto,
Hmm.
and he took two petri dishes, and there's more to it, but I'll just say with the music, one petri dish was exposed to heavy metal music, so very low vibrational, and the other was um, eh, there was classical music that was played over it. And then those petri dishes of water were frozen. And what happened was it looks almost like sacred geometry with the molecular structure of the water with the petri dish that was exposed to classical music, and then the one that was exposed to heavy metal was actually all disfigured.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say anything that makes you feel like the words are positive and healthy and loving. I listen to reggae. I know Matt and I,
Yep.
you posted, I love Mahali.
Me too.
I just started, and I may be butchering her name, but Iniko, I'm going to see her next Friday. A friend
Yeah.
just invited me to the concert. Iniko. She had one song called Jericho that went viral, but I've started to listen to her the past couple weeks. She's incredible
Wow.
and she's like otherworldly. So she's great. I listen to a lot of acoustic and folk. But as far as like sound healing through mainstream, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I can't recommend anyone. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I just think reggae,
I
reggae is
agree.
best, and
Yeah.
you know, chill music with healthy words.
Yeah. I also like Mahali, like you mentioned. I also like Nako. I don't know if you're familiar with
Yes,
Nako.
Nako, Trevor. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
thank
Trevor
you.
Hall.
Hello,
Yeah.
Trevor Hall,
Yeah.
Nako. They're two of my favorites. I just saw Trevor Hall a
Oh,
couple months
nice.
ago. Thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Nako is Nahko,
Yep.
and then Trevor Hall. Yeah, two really good artists.
Yeah. I I tend to prefer Nako's like more original, like his older albums. That's
Yes.
my favorite. His newer stuff is a little more, I feel like, contemporary, or it's more like poppy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still
The
good.
older albums
Yeah.
are
Yep.
so good.
Those are the ones that hooked me. I was like, oh wow, this like really touched me. You know, like the lyrics and all that. So
Deep.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, and then for me, I mean, personally, I like if I'm in the car, the only music I listen to is Christian music, because it's just so uplifting, and
Yeah.
you know, whether you're religious or not, I think it's such inspiring music. It's just such a positive message. So if I'm in the car listening to the radio, that's like the only stuff that I listen to, because everything else is just so negative and, you know, low vibe in my opinion.
Yeah. It is low vibe.
Yeah.
And our body is always receiving that,
Yep.
the words, the vibrations. So,
For
yeah,
sure.
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Let's see here. Mallory says. She says, of course, the bowls are a different avenue, but just curious on the topic of music you can get on a streaming app. Okay, yeah. Um, oh, Mallory likes bluegrass.
Mm.
She thinks that's a good one. Allison Krauss, and yeah, she likes reggae as well. So very nice. Thank you for the question. I don't actually think I see any other questions. Does anybody want to pop one in if you have anything that comes to mind? Otherwise, we are at the top of the hour, so we could wrap it up at this point.
No, let's go for another couple hours.
Hey, I'm good for another couple hours. We can get some
We'll
more
have to do
questions.
another one. This is
Oh,
fun.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would love to have you back on. I mean, there's so many things that we could go into,
So many.
and you have
Dang.
so many specialties. It's just like, you know, it's endless what we could talk about. So
Yeah, we didn't even talk about functional medicine.
exactly.
Maybe next time.
Yes, for sure. Let's do it.
And I'll have a better setup too. I'll actually get, yeah, I'm working on my
I think your setup's perfect. The neon lights.
need like a light and a better camera. Just got my MacBook camera.
Yeah, that's all right.
It works.
Yeah, it turned out just great. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any other questions. So, and you know what, guys? I don't. I apologize. I do not have my wheel of names set up anymore because we had to reset this program. So I can't do the drawing. I guess I could do it like I did in the old school. I like to give away a free ebook to somebody that asks a question during the Q&A session. I forgot to mention that earlier. I'm a little out of practice with the shows. But I could just scroll up and down. I think we only had 2 questions, all right. Sherry, who already has all my books, and Mallory, who I believe has all my books as well. So, so
Awesome.
yeah, I guess I'm off the hook. Yeah, because I don't think there was any other questions, was there? Nope, that's it. So we'll have to get more questions. We'll have to inspire these people with, getting more questions in for next time. But I really appreciate all the information you shared tonight or today. Really awesome. I learned a lot myself, and I'm definitely inspired to get more into the sound healing, and even looking into Reiki. I've never had a Reiki session, so that's something that I'm going to look into for sure.
You're gonna have to come to Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Session. I'm doing a class in November,
Okay.
all group teaching level 1 Reiki. So,
Wow.
you know, if you want to come out here,
Yes.
get you all Reiki up.
When did you say? November?
I think it's the first weekend in November. I'm still trying to kind of anchor that in. I
Okay.
have 4 or 5 people that were interested, so we're trying to figure out date and time, but
I am definitely interested, so I will let you
cool,
know on that. Yeah, that would be awesome.
for sure.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see here. Liv says I need to come to that class. So there might be some
Ah,
people
Liv,
here that
come
are,
on.
yeah,
Let's go.
love it.
Yeah, I also host women's retreats. I have one coming up in 2 weeks. I have 2 spots left.
Nice.
And if anyone's interested in following me on Instagram, I'm
Yes.
shifting underscore paradigms, but the S at the end of paradigms is a Z. So
Love it. I've got it linked in the description box. So anybody that wants to check it out,
thank you.
the link is there. And then one more time, your website is atlashealthco.com. Is that right?
Nailed it.
Got
Yep.
it. All right.
healthco.com.
Okay, so that is linked in the description box as well. I highly recommend you guys go follow Chelsea on Instagram, and hopefully she'll be getting a YouTube channel going here soon, and
Yep.
you can follow her there. But yeah, the rest of the information is at her website. Liv says, where in Michigan is this going to be?
It is going to be in Clinton Township, which is about 30 minutes from Detroit.
Nice. Okay.
Yep, at my office space there. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up another edition of the Raw Intuition Health Show. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Liv said only a couple hours from her, so there you go. She might be there.
Meant to be, Liv.
Yes.
Meant to be.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, thank you again, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate you spending your Sunday morning here with us. And we will catch you next week, same time, same place. And until then, always follow your raw intuition.